Inflate and deflate all 4 tires at the same time with one central SI location. With the WIFEY air system, you'll be getting back on the trails as soon as possible. It gives the vehicle a way to manage all 4 tires' music at once instead of going one by one with a basic hose. It works with music either a single ARB air compressor or a twin ARB air compressor. So, the air supply depends on what compressor is paired with it. Music RAGO says all 4 tires can be inflated in around 4 to 9 minutes, which gives a general idea of how the system performs when everything is installed properly. There are also 2 versions based on music wheelbase. The SUV version fits vehicles around a 120 in wheelbase, while the truck version is meant for vehicles with wheelbases over 120 inches. What makes the system special is the way it sends air to all 4 tires at the same time. You don't have to walk around the vehicle checking each tire one after another. The air is distributed through several lines at once. That can make tire pressure changes feel more organized and more consistent, especially when switching between lower pressure for off-road driving and higher pressure for pavement. The flat air topper is a different kind of truck bed cover because it uses air instead of a hard fiberglass. Once it is inflated, it forms a full enclosure over the bed of the truck. It comes in sizes for compact, mid-size, and full-size pickups, including models like the Ford Maverick, Toyota Tacoma, Nissan Frontier, Ford Ranger. What makes it interesting is the material and structure. It uses PVC drop stitch fabric, which is the same type of material often used in rigid inflatable boards. Most mid-rise versions have 4 separate air chambers, which helps the topper keep its shape and adds support across the whole shell. The lower cap music version has a different shape and uses 2 valves instead of 4. Flat says it should be inflated to 5 to 8 lb per square in, with 6 pounds music per square in being a good place to start. At the right pressure, it feels strong and stays in place well while driving. The window music panels can be removed with hook and loop fasteners, and the back panel opens with zippers. On the roof, there are 4 tie-down D-rings and music grab points for carrying light gear like boards or kayaks. Inside, there are 3 mesh pockets for smaller items, and there is also a rain skirt at the front to help block music water. Flat says the roof can take up to 150 pounds of static weight when the topper is inflated to 8 lbs per square inch. Music lets give your Toyota Tacoma a lot more usable space music on top. It runs nearly the full length of the roof and sits close to it so it looks clean. It uses aluminum, comes with 7 cross members, and has double-walled side panels. Some seller described those side panels as using double-walled 3/16 in music plates with a combined 3/8 in thickness, which helps explain why the rack feels more music solid than simpler setups. One of the most useful things about it is the number of cross members. With 7 bars across the rack, music, there are more places to mount gear and more options for tying things down. That matters when carrying items like a cargo box, bikes, kayaks, or other travel gear. There are also optional decking panels music that can make the top surface flatter and give you more tie-down points, which helps when your gear does not line up well with normal crossbar spacing. The front fairing is angled music and shaped to follow the Tacoma's roof line, which helps cut down on wind drag and noise. That makes a difference during normal driving, especially on the highway where some roof racks can whistle. Music, a cleaner vehicle cabin starts at music the floor, and this product deals with that problem with a 2-layer structure music instead of the single piece format seen in many standard mats. TRAPMATS uses an upper layer with a honeycomb pattern and a lower layer that collects dirt after they pass through the openings. This layout keeps the visible surface cleaner because the material that falls music through is separated from the top section. The mats are made from ethylene vinyl acetate, a waterproof and odor-resistant material music that is also described as having antibacterial qualities. The upper and lower sections connect through music hook and loop fasteners, while the underside also works with vehicle floor hooks to help music keep the mat in position. The product is offered as a custom fit option for cars made after 1995, music using vehicle measurements matched to specific floor shapes. Reported test information also mentions non-detection music results for phthalates and heavy metals, along with antibacterial testing showing up to 99.9% reduction of Staphylococcus music aureus and Klebsiella pneumonia after 24 hours. From a functional perspective, the mat works like a filter. Shoes bring in dust, sand, and small particles, and the honeycomb openings allow those materials to drop into the lower compartment. Because the debris remains below the walking surface, airflow from heating or air conditioning is less likely to move it back into the cabin. This separation also changes the cleaning process. The way RMAX works is not complicated. A clutch connects the engine music to the transmission and helps transfer power through the drive line. When torque goes up, the clutch needs more holding ability so it can keep that power moving without slipping. That is really the point of this unit. It gives the vehicle more capacity, especially for work trucks and modified 70 series models. What makes it interesting right away is the amount of torque it can manage. It has a 1100 Nm torque capacity, which Safari says is a 250% increase compared with the standard setup. It is made for Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Music Series models with the 4.5L V8 diesel engine. It is listed for 2007 and newer models, music including later updates of the same V8 range. The kit also includes a Safari RMAX slave cylinder along with the main clutch components. Safari also says it keeps a factory-like pedal feel, improved diaphragm lift control, and torque capacity that stays within. A standard clutch can be fine when everything is factory stock, but once extra load, towing, added weight, or more engine torque comes into the picture, the original setup can start to feel like the weak point. A pickup bed can become much more practical when storage is kept near reach, and the Unruly system does music that with a combined cargo management and tonneau cover setup. Music it pairs a roll-up cover with a sliding box, giving the truck bed a more organized layout. The system is offered in several versions, including the Defender Standard Box, the Transformer Foldable Box, and the Liberator Softbox Music model. The Defender has an internal box size of 52 in wide, 13 in high, and 23 music in deep. The box and adapters weigh 42 pounds, while the complete system weighs about 77 pounds for 5 feet 7 inches in beds. It provides 4 in of clearance between the bed and the box bottom. The Transformer version measures 57 in wide, 14 in high, and 20 in deep. Its cargo music box weighs 56 pounds, and the full system weighs about 91 pounds for 5 feet 7 inches in beds. Clearance to the box bottom is 2 inches. It uses anodized aluminum for the box and rails, stainless steel bearings, and a vinyl-backed cloth roll-up cover. From a technical standpoint, the system reduces the need to climb into the truck bed by bringing stored items closer to the rear of the vehicle. The Defender includes an automatic lid opener, LED box light, lock and keys, front pull bar, and removable box. This is an interesting setup and not one that we see too often. And this spare wheel carrier has allowed this customer to travel to remove locations with a full-size spare wheel on his Model 3 Tesla. MIRACK Music Gen 4 is a rear spare wheel carrier that fits into a standard 2-in-tow receiver. It lets a vehicle carry an extra wheel at the back without fully blocking access to the rear. Because it uses a swingway arm, truck can still be opened when needed. It comes in right-hand and left-hand swing versions. And there are also standard, extended, and low clearance options to suit different vehicle setups. Music It can take tires up to 36 in and uses a wheel mounting plate that works with 5 lug PCD patterns, plus some 6 lug wheel patterns up to 5.9 Music In. M14 wheel bolts and stud nuts are included. The wheel bracket can also be adjusted in height, which helps with rear visibility. The listed dimensions show a receiver section music length of 13 in, a closed height of 25 in from the hitch pin, and an open projection of about 27 inches. MIRACK also says the Gen 4 is ADR certified and can tow up to 2 tons while carrying a spare wheel and accessories. What stands out first about this motorcycle ramp is how much room it gives during loading. Instead of a narrow path, it offers a full 40 in wide surface, which gives both the motorcycle and the person walking beside it more space to music move. It uses an aluminum frame, has serrated rungs for traction, an arched shape for better engine and tailpipe clearance, music a solid attaching lip, and 3 safety straps to help keep it in place while loading. It also folds in half, and comes music apart into 3 sections. The 8-foot version measures 96 in long by 40 in wide, weighs 81 pounds, has a 1.75 in profile height, music folds to 48 in long. The 10 feet version measures 120 in x 40 in, weighs 110 pounds, music and folds to 60 in long. Every version has a 1,500 pounds maximum capacity. Clears throat. From a music practical point of view, this ramp gives a rider a wider and more controlled path when loading music a motorcycle into its pickup. The arched shape helps lower bikes clear the transition point more cleanly, while the serrated rungs help tires and shoes grip the surface better. Music This is the ultimate solution for maximizing your gear storage. An inflatable rooftop cargo box, and it offers a different approach to vehicle storage by combining a hard shell-like shape with a format that can be deflated after music use. Instead of taking up the same amount of space year-round as a conventional music roof box, this model compresses into a compact duffel-style bag when empty. That makes it a practical option for drivers who want extra cargo capacity music without keeping a large plastic shell in storage. The structure is based on drop stitch construction, a method also used in premium inflatable paddle boards. In this application, that material allows the carrier to take on a more defined, music rigid form once inflated rather than behaving like a loose fabric bag. The result is a cargo enclosure with more shape retention, which helps it perform more like a box than a soft music rooftop sack. 3 size options are available. The medium Carrier 15 provides 15 cubic feet of storage music and weighs 23 pounds. The Sport Carrier 15, music despite its name, increases storage to 18 cubic feet and weighs 25 pounds. Its music longer and narrower shape gives it a lower profile appearance that suits longer gear such as skis, snowboards, or surfboards. The large Carrier 23 expands storage to 23 cub-feet and weighs 28 pounds, giving larger vehicles more room for longer trips. Music. Some driveways and garage entrances leave almost no room to turn a car around. And that is where this system becomes useful. Instead of backing up again and again music or trying to squeeze through a tight angle, it lets the car rotate while staying in one spot. That makes entering or leaving a music confined area feel much easier, especially in places where space music is small and every inch matters. The platform itself is about music 14 feet in diameter and can rotate a full 360 degrees in either direction. It supports vehicles up to 9,000 pounds with a maximum wheel load of 2,200 pounds. There also needs to be about 11 in of clearance between the vehicle and any fixed structure around it. For example, music. If a car is 16.4 feet long, the full safety area should be about 18.4 feet in music diameter. Under normal conditions, one full rotation takes about 60 music seconds. A driver pulls onto the platform, stops, and the system turns the vehicle to face the needed direction. There are two main versions. One comes with a galvanized textured steel surface. Music and stainless steel is also available. The other version includes a 3.9 in deep trough so the top finish can be added by the customer. That finish can match the surrounding paving or flooring, which helps the system blend in better with the rest of music. The project. The maximum finish load for that version is about 51 lb per square foot. Music. If you are a dog lover, then we have the perfect solution for you. VOMER is a car seat made for small dogs and even cats, but it is not like the soft pet seats people often use. It has a hard shell and is made to give pets music more protection in the car. The idea behind it is to keep the seat attached, help music reduce movement during sudden stops, and keep the pet safely inside if something goes wrong. Inside, it has a strong aluminum frame and music thick impact foam. The frame helps take force from the outside, while the foam helps soften what the pet feels inside. There is also mesh around the music seat, a side door with two locks, and a top cover that can be removed quickly. One thing that makes VOMER different is the way it connects to the car. It uses an ISO-IX system which connects the seat more music directly to the vehicle. There is also another lock under the seat to help keep it in place during travel. Because of that setup, it feels closer to a car safety product than a basic pet carrier. For more, the length can be adjusted music to fit many cars. To put the pet inside, the side door opens, then closes with two locking points, which helps lower the chance of it opening by accident. Getting in and out of a taller truck can feel like a bigger step than it should, and that is really the main idea behind these running boards. This set is made for the 2019 to 2022 Dodge Ram 1500 Crew Cab. Each side has a 4-in drop and a 4.88 music in stepping area, so there is more foot room when stepping into the cab. The bars are made from 2mm steel. The step area is formed with laser cutting music which creates a raised non-slip pattern. Knight says each side can support up to 450 pounds. In simple terms, these running boards lower the stepping music point compared with a basic tube-style bar. That can make getting into the cab feel music less awkward, especially on trucks that sit higher or have larger music tires. For a truck accessory like this, the most important thing is not the look first, but how much easier it makes that first step into the cab. Music. This tent line turns a compatible vehicle roof rack into an elevated sleeping space. It gives campers a place to music sleep off the ground while keeping the setup compact enough for campsite use. It works like a soft shell rooftop tent music system. And the best part, you can set it up in minutes. The SKYRISE SL has a 210D music riptop polyester tent body, while the SKYRISE HD uses thicker 600D riptop music polyester for the main body. The SL weighs 121 pounds music and measures 58 in long, 48 in wide, and 16 in high music when closed with required crossbar spacing from 26 to 40 inches. The HD music weighs about 131 pounds, supports a static load capacity of about 600 pounds. Both tents come with large doors and windows, so there is good visibility. Everything is about LED lights these music days. So, let's check this 48-in tailgate light that adds extra rear lighting in one long bar. It has a quad row layout with 528 LEDs and runs on a 12V DC system. Music: the strip includes red running lights, brighter red brake lights, white reverse lights, and amber turn signals. Music: it connects through a standard 4-pin plug and uses a peel and stick mounting method. Music: pretty simple, right? Once it is connected to the vehicle, it lights up along with the truck main rear lights. Music: red light shows while the vehicle is running. The red output gets brighter when braking. The white light comes on in reverse and the amber sections flash with the turn signals. That music gives the back of the vehicle a wider and more noticeable lighting pattern. The 48-in size fits many mid-size and full-size trucks, SUVs, and some trailers. Because it uses 4 rows of LEDs, the light spreads in a fuller and more even way across the strip. Music: this hauling unit works as both a hitch-mounted cargo carrier and a large-wheeled cart. Music: so it can move gear by vehicle and then by hand when needed. It fits a standard 2-in hitch receiver. The unit measures 45 music in long, 61 in wide, and 40 in high, and it weighs 46 pounds. It comes with 19-in wheels and can carry up to music 500 pounds in the frame. Switches between the two setups without tools: music by using pins, hand wheels, and wheel parts that can be repositioned. For first-time assembly, only an adjustable wrench and a 13mm wrench are needed. Music: what makes it interesting is the way it changes shape depending on how it is being used. When it is attached to a vehicle, the frame stays flatter and works like a cargo platform at the rear. When it is changed into cart mode, the frame stands more upright and works like a game cart or trolley. That means the same units can carry gear on the road and then help move it by hand once clears throat the vehicle stops. Music: the 19-in wheels are a big part of how it works. Because they are much larger than small caster-style wheels, they help the carts move better across places like grass, dirt, and similar outdoor surfaces. Music: this is a practical add-on that does 2 things at once. It covers the factory plastic cowl area and also gives a place to mount lights. The set comes with a left and right side piece, uses steel construction, and music has a black finish. It fits Jeep Wrangler JL and Jeep Gladiator models. The lights are not included, so the bracket works as the mounting base only. One of the more useful parts of the setup is the slotted mounting section. This lets the light be music placed in different positions, not just locking it into one fixed spot. It also helps with windshield movement because the light can be loosened and shifted downward when needed, so the windshield can still fold flat. The kit also comes with the hardware needed for the main install, but a torque socket and socket wrench are still needed during installation. This is not just a simple trim piece that sits on top for looks. It bolts into the factory cowl mounting points, so it works more like a functional metal bracket system. The added hardware and spacer setup show that it is meant to become part of the mounting structure in that area. Because the slot can work with different light setups, music it gives some flexibility when choosing lights. Music this kind of step makes the most sense for SUV owners who use the rear of their vehicle often and want something practical that also looks clean. One of the first things people notice about it is that it does more than sit at the back of the vehicle music looking tough. It gives you a simple way to climb up when you need to reach into the truck music bed, grab something from the roof, or load gear into the back of your SUV. The step uses a steel tube with the tube listed at about 3 in music in diameter. The stepping area is around 19 in wide. On top, there is a high-impact plastic step pad with a non-slip surface. Music it supports up to 350 pounds. Some seller descriptions also say the light may respond with the hazard lights once it is connected to the vehicle's trailer wiring. Music we bring happiness to your life is motto of this company. And it mentions that an overhead audio upgrade can change the character of your Jeep cabin. And this replacement soundbar focuses on that goal through a higher speaker count and a factory location fit. It is an overhead replacement unit for the Jeep Wrangler with the clearest documented fitment covering 2015 and newer models. The assembly comes as a complete replacement bar with 4 series speakers and 4 music tweeters already installed, creating an 8-driver layout in place of the original 4-speaker arrangement. It mounts in the stock overhead position. Music connects through a plug-and-play setup and uses 6 10mm bolts for installation. You can install it for about 7 minutes. The unit also includes RGB LED lighting. From a technical perspective, this soundbar is more than a replacement shell. Music it functions as a complete overhead speaker that increases the number of sound sources in the factory location. Life on the road often depends on how well a phone can stay connected, and the WEBOOST Drive X focuses on improving that connection inside a vehicle. It is a multi-user cellular signal booster. The unit supports band 12/17 at 700 MHz to band 2 at 1900 MHz. Maximum gain is 50 dB and the connector type is SMA Music Female. The booster itself weighs 0.7 pounds while the package weight is 2 music pound. Included in the kit are a 4-in mini magnet mount outside antenna, a slim low-profile inside antenna, and a music power supply. It works with major US carriers and supports multiple cellular devices at the same time. The Drive X works as an RF repeater rather than a hotspot or satellite system. Music the outside antenna collects an existing cellular signal from nearby towers. The amplifier strengthens that signal and the inside antenna sends the improved connection into the cabin. Music because of that process, it cannot create service in a total dead zone. But it can improve weak existing coverage for calls and mobile data. It can also help hotspot use when a phone is tethering in the vehicle. The physical setup centers on vehicle use. The outside antenna mounts to the roof magnetically while the inside antenna sits in the cabin to distribute signal to passengers and devices. Installation takes about 30 minutes. The companion app assists with installation steps, compares signal levels before and after setup. VISORTWIN is a simple add-on with a clear purpose, reducing glare through a transparent panel that can be repositioned as you need it. Public information describes it as having 3 main parts: a clear panel, a clip, and a swivel section. The panel can be moved horizontally or vertically, and it can rotate up to 180 degrees. That means it can help block glare coming through the front windshield or from the side window. It has also been described as adding extra length to the factory visor, which can help in cars where the original visor does not cover enough area. Another public claim says it blocks 92% of UV light. What makes this product interesting is that it tries to solve a very common driving problem in a simple way. Bright sunlight at the wrong angle can make it harder to stay comfortable and keep a clear view of the road. Instead of replacing the car's visor, this adds a second clear panel that can be moved into the spot where the glare is strongest. Since the panel is transparent, it helps reduce brightness without blocking as much of the view as a normal solid visor can. Adding cargo space on top of a vehicle can make trips a lot more manageable, especially when the inside starts feeling crowded. This roof rack lineup gives a vehicle extra room for things like luggage, sports gear, and other larger items that do not fit comfortably in the cabin. The main part of the setup starts with the crossbars. These sit across the roof rails and create the base for other attachments. One example is the Apex Steel Universal Side Rail Mounted Roof Crossbars. They are made from powder-coated steel, come as a set of 2, weigh 8 pounds, and support up to 130 pounds. They can fit side rails spaced up to 46 in apart. Music and the rubber-coated feet help reduce marks where the bars touch the vehicle. For people who want more open storage on the roof, a cargo basket can be added. One example is the Elevate Outdoor Extra L large cargo basket. It is also made from powder-coated steel, supports up to 150 pounds, and weighs 37 pounds inside. The usable basket area measures 57.5 in x 36.75 in x 5.75 inches. The basket attaches with universal U-bolts. There is also the option to add roof bars above the basket, which can be useful for carrying more gear at the same time. Music recovery gear can be difficult to mount cleanly on a roof platform, and this jack holder addresses that problem with a compact metal bracket system made to secure one high lift jack in a fixed position. It supports a jack with a standard 2-in steel bar and a maximum jack weight of 35 pounds. The holder itself weighs 6 pounds and measures 7 in long, 3 in wide, and 8 in high. It fits YAKIMA lock and load platforms music and also works with many other T-lot platform systems, including compatible bars. From a neutral technical perspective, the music product functions as a dedicated mount rather than a general cargo accessory. It uses 2 brackets music placed at separate points along a platform channel. Nut plates slide into the T-slots. The brackets are aligned to match the jack length and the hardware secures them music in place. The jack is then fastened across both brackets with one side acting as the main retention point and the other applying clamping force. One positive aspect is the simplicity of the mechanism. There are no complex moving parts, so the mounting method is practical. The adjustable bracket spacing also gives it flexibility across common jack lengths. Music created as a foldable ballistic shield for vehicle, home, and office settings, the POPSHIELD is presented as a compact protective device with a technical emphasis on quick deployment and reduced weight. The campaign describes it as a product from Shield Technology Incorporated, an Arizona company founded in 2016 by a group of engineers. At the time of the campaign, the company stated that product design and prototyping were complete while strike testing and NIJJ certification was still in progress. The shield was set to follow New Jersey 3A ballistic resistance standards established by the National Institute of Music Justice. The main concept behind the POPSHIELD is its folding structure, which allows it to occupy less space when not in use and then open rapidly when needed. This format supports storage in tighter locations such as a car interior, an office, or a residential space. The campaign also emphasizes reduced weight, which matters in ballistic equipment because lower mass can improve control, repositioning, and one-handed operation. One specific claim is that the shield can be operated with one hand while driving, pointing to an ergonomic approach intended to support quick reaction in emergency situations. Music. The Kickstarter campaign ran from October 3, 2017 to November 2, Music 2017 with a funding goal of $100,000. It received $4.46 from 8 backers. So, the project did not reach its goal. Combining a jump starter, a 12,000 mAh battery pack, an air compressor, and a 3-mode LED light, the LENERCOM brings several emergency and travel functions into one unit. It supports gasoline engines up to 7L and diesel engines up to 4L, and it can operate in temperatures from -4 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The built-in compressor includes pressure detection with claimed accuracy of about 0.7 psi and offers preset options for cars, motorcycles, bicycles, and basketballs. Users can also adjust pressure manually before the inflation cycle begins automatically. A full charge is said to provide enough power to fill as many as 4 empty tires. The unit also includes an 18-watt 3.0 USB music output for charging phones. Its lighting system includes standard illumination, SOS, and strobe modes. It works as an energy storage device that directs stored battery power toward different tasks. When used as a jump starter, it sends a short burst of high currents through the included clamps to assist a weak vehicle battery during engine start-up. In air pump mode, the internal motor drives compressed air into a tire or sports item, while the screen and preset music system help manage pressure. The product stands out because it combines several commonly needed vehicle support tools in one compact format. Music.